thank you so much for being here and clicking on the channel. I am Sunrays, but if you're finding this video, you probably already knew that. I wanted to share a conversation that we had over on Twitch last week while we were streaming Little Nightmares 2. And I just felt like it was a very great conversation. I was able to open up about my mental health recovery and journey, as well as just get some other conversations going, and you all had a lot of really amazing things to say. So I just felt like it was a very great conversation, and I wanted to share it here because why not? And also because I just felt like there was a very powerful but like meaningful, I'm so bad with words but it was just a very powerful conversation and very meaningful. I felt like it touched on a lot of topics that a lot of people struggle with but also feel alone in. So if you are interested in this conversation, stick around, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you again. But I don't have many people I know in real life that are supportive of me being on Twitch. Which it's kind of like sucks. But you, Xylithai, that comes around all the time, and I have like 2 other people that come around a lot. That I've known in real life or I went to school with and stuff, but I have had a lot of people be like very discouraging and say like, why are you even doing this? Like, blah blah blah, like you're wasting your time, like you're never gonna be successful and all this other stuff. And I don't know, it's just really refreshing when people I know in real life can be supportive of something like this, because I never planned on doing something like this. So the fact that I'm even like here and I've made it this far is like mind-blowing. I'm so proud of you, Sunrays. You have been glowing and you have grown up so much, and I feel like this community is healing for you. It so is. I'm gonna get like really emotional, like get all like cryy, but okay, this is me like hardcore hug. We got a hug through the camera. But thank you for such kind words, truly. Drown out those voices fast. Oh yes, hobby, honestly, I've dealt with a lot of negativity, and you know, trolls and stuff happen, but when it's people that like are supposedly your friends or like people in your circle and stuff saying things like that, it's such like a huge disappointment, and it can really bring you down, like a lot. We need to see each other soon. We really do. We do. I'm gonna be a regular. Oh, Thanos, you're so sweet. Thank you again for sticking around after Harrison's raid. I know he's still there hanging out. I saw he was playing Resident Evil still because it popped up because I have him on Steam. When someone says you won't get far, go so far you can't hear their voices anymore. Preach! Literally. There's so many people that will say like you're not gonna accomplish something, and honestly it just makes you want to go for it even harder, like 10 times harder. So if there's anything, like even like hobbies, if you want to start a small business, if you want to quit your job at 10 years to start something new, like just go for it. Like it affects them not at all. Like this is your life. I've seen you go through some shit, dude. I can't imagine. And honestly, you're so strong that you're able to pull yourself out of that. Yes. Honestly, like, back in those days, here, we're gonna interrupt this program for a little bit of chatting. But honestly, like, mental health is very important to me over here. It exists, and I feel like sadly now it's very like glorified and stuff, but when I was 16, and trigger warning, talks of suicide, when I was 16 I had my first actual attempt. Very scary, very like a lot. I don't want to go down that dark path, but I did because I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, ADHD, PTSD, and ADD, and it hit me so hard because I grew up around that. Like it runs in my family and stuff. So like when you hear like the actual terms and you hear a doctor like tell you like, hey, this is why you're feeling like this is why you're going through all this, it just kind of hits you like really hard. And like honestly, like from that point until I was like 21, I kept trying. because I couldn't live with myself if something was like medically wrong with me that I couldn't fix and I didn't understand it. So I just kept like trying, and it was a very, very dark time in my life, and not a lot of people like know the whole like story about it or like what entirely happened, but just know that I did get help. I did accept that I wanted to live and I wanted to get help. I'm not medicated. I've tried medication for 4 years and it was very bad for me. It caused me very, very bad side effects because I'm too sensitive to medicine. But I have been through hell and back. I'm gonna say that. And I know this is like way off topic of everything, but it's important to talk about things like that and just bring awareness to it. A lot of us do struggle in silence, or we suffer in silence, and we don't accept things in our life and we don't talk about it. And I feel like talking about things like this, like, it makes a difference, whether for you, yourself, like, the fact that I'm able to talk about it and not like completely break down and cry, like, I'm getting a little flustered, but the fact that I've come to a point in my life where I've come to terms with it. It's something that I'm gonna have the rest of my life, but at the same time, like, I'm stuck with it. Like, I don't know, I don't want to cry. Eek. But thank you for listening to that rant. I just think it's very, very, very important. And again, I don't have many supportive people in real life that I know or I grew up with. I think there was a reason I grabbed this stress ball. Listen, Sunrays, first of all, you're a very kind and fun, attentive streamer. Oh, thank you, Hobby. And viewership that pulls you into the top. That is so insane. Isn't it insane to think, like, if you average, I believe, at least 10 viewers, you're in the top 1% of Twitch. If you average 3 viewers, you're in the top 2% of Twitch. Think about that if you are a streamer, because that is amazing. Thank you, Hobby. Thank you so much. And the fact that you are still showing your light and giving it out to the world speaks volumes. Oh, I'm literally gonna cry. Has this turned into a just chatting stream? I'm crying right now because you're so similar than I thought. I know, right? And it's ironic because I had to transfer schools, and that is how we met. I transferred the last 3 months of my senior year. I'm terrible, honestly. I don't like talking about my mental health, but it's something I'm just gonna have to deal with. Vanos, I know exactly what you mean. I didn't want to like break down and cry. I painted like little flowers on my eyes. I can't cry. But yes, honestly, like, I'm a very to myself kind of person with anything that goes on in my mind that like I feel isn't socially acceptable. So like, Moobot is crying. Yes, I gave my tears to Moobot. I'm honestly distracting myself with the stress ball. And Brody, thank you so much for being here. I didn't know you were still around. Okay, I need to hydrate. But yes, I just think like when you hear other people's stories, I feel like it allows you to process or relate to it so much where you're like, hey, like I can actually relate to this. Or I've felt that way before. I deal with something similar. My head cord is like getting tangled around. But yes, honestly, thank you so much for being so kind and amazing. I could go on a rant for 1,000,000 hours because I like to talk sometimes. But truly, like, I don't know what else to say other than thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for believing in me, for all the support, for just letting me be in your life whatsoever. Like, your time is something you're never gonna get back. And I think like as you get older, you start realizing that time goes by really, really freaking fast. Like, really fast. And if you don't grasp a hold of that concept of like, this is my life and I have one life to live in a sense because I'm here right now living it, like, you're gonna lose that time. And whatever you invest your time in, like, the fact that you're even here right now, like, oh goodness, just in the last 2 years my son got diagnosed with high functioning autism. Oh goodness. Jordan, I remember you saying stuff like about it on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook in a very long time, but I do remember you mentioning it. And I know as someone who originally I was going to college for Okay, one second. I'm going on a huge tangent, and I don't want anyone to come in and be like, well, why isn't she playing Little Nightmares? So let's just update to chatting really quick. But so out of high school, I really wanted to get my teaching degree, and I wanted to specialize in children with developmental issues, and I really wanted to do it until my apprenticeship. Unfortunately, I couldn't handle it because unfortunately, so I did some job shadowing and internships at 2 different daycare centers, and it was like really challenging because the parents, like, you have to think, like, being in charge of 30 children but having 2 assistants with you to back you up, it was a lot, and we would get blamed for a lot of things. Like, if one of their, like, say their son was struggling in reading, it's like, hey, like, we're still working with them. They're not there yet, but we're still working with them to learn this. And the parents would just get mad at you and get frustrated. Like, I got yelled at by so many people's parents, and it kind of broke me. But it really is disappointing that there's such, like, a low amount of teachers that go into that field, because we need it. Because even if, like, everything seems peachy keen and fine, just like me, like, when I was younger, I knew I had ADHD, like, I was medicated when I was younger, but just knowing that, like, so many children struggle in school and the teachers don't even notice it because they're not trained in that specialty to see those, like, triggers. Everyone has a light inside of them, but not everyone finds the switch very early on. I think one thing that gets missed during mental health talks is that sometimes it takes a journey to figure out your worth. Oh, I'm still trying to find it. I think, like, as long as you keep going, even in those, like, moments where you feel like you can't hold on and, like, you're not gonna go anywhere and stuff, sometimes those moments can be, like, very eye-opening and kind of get you to a point where, like, you want to continue on, or you have a goal and you want to reach it. But I think that is so important hobby, and truly, like, I have been through a lot. Like, I could literally tell my whole life story in a book one day, and the book would be like this, like, literally this thick, maybe 2 feet thick, I don't know. But yes, mental health is just very important to me, just because my mental health journey and my recovery is still ongoing. Like, every single day, I try to do at least one thing that is going to better myself, whether it be journaling, coloring, painting, just something to, like, have an outlet. Honestly, video games. Video games is my escape. You all have been an incredible and amazing, not even escape, just another outlet for me to invest my energy and time into. And I don't know, I've just never, like, been this happy. Like, the happiness I felt the last 8 months, I feel like I've never been this happy. Time goes by way too fast, Vanos. Way too fast. I was just talking to the cashier at 7-Eleven. We were talking about how it was literally just January 1st. And now it is April 15th. That's my fake cry. Wait, and everyone has worth, everyone. Yes, I could not agree more. Okay, I want to spam some heart emotes. Y'all are... I honestly did not expect, this conversation to happen, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that I could share a little bit more about me behind the scenes. No one's perfect. Everyone has their own struggles. Everyone has their things that they're facing, whether it be today or in the past. Just know that you are loved and you will be okay. I think if I can make it this far in life, that you can too. Not saying that life is all honky-dory and, like, perfect and butterflies and rainbows, because it's not. I'm part of that 1% where something bad happens, like, all the time, whether I stub my toe, I break something on accident, I have car issues, just, yeah. I was a 3 and 4-year-old childcare teacher, and I had only 1 assistant with 25 kids. It was horrible. I couldn't work there anymore. It is so upsetting. Like, I have so much love and respect for teachers and anyone who has been able to stick in that field, especially for extended amounts of time, because I do know other people I went to high school with that they are teachers now, which is amazing. I really wish that I had the backbone to deal with that, but just as you said, I couldn't handle it. Like, when a parent's like yelling at you over something completely out of your control, it's very, very like frustrating. It's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? You know, like, what am I supposed to do about it here? So I don't know. It's annoying. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that too. Doing diapers while trying to watch 20 kids was not the move. They were not sticking to the legal amount of teachers needed. Oh no. Honestly, it sucks, and that's why, like, if I ever have kids on this godforsaken earth, you never know. I'm not saying that I want them right away. Like, I'm 27, I don't have kids, but I maybe one day. As for now, like, I don't think I'm ready for them at all, and I've been very lucky to be able to, like, be a nanny and a babysitter and stuff like that, because I love being able to, like, help in any way I can. So for my godmom, I was able to be a nanny for like 4 years for her. Very, very rewarding work, and just knowing like you're helping a little human like grow up and get those, you know, skills that they need early on in life. But I worked in a center, so the very first center that I actually worked in and that I shadowed for, I think like 3 months in, I ended up taking the apprenticeship to be like a full-on like lead teacher there. And just as you said, like, you were literally in charge of like 25 to 30 kids. For some reason I had 30 in my first one and then 32 in the second one. But it could be very, very challenging because that's a lot of tiny little humans to be responsible for. So like, if one has to go to the bathroom, say 2 have to go to the bathroom at the same time, and they're like 2 or 3 years old, you need to be there. So, like, it's not like you have Medusa's, like, you know, head to be able to help every single one. So, it's a lot, and I really hope that they start paying more attention to it. But my first center I ever worked at, after I ended up quitting that, actually. That's why I got sent to the second one. They actually closed down because they weren't following the state guidelines to have enough teachers there. I have one. One is enough. I honestly just want to live having kids through all of my friends. Thank you. Thank you for having kids so I can experience it from afar. Because you and one of my very, very, very good friends, Skylar, has children. And she has a little daughter, so freaking cute. She turns 3 in May. And that is when my birthday is. I believe her birthday is actually like 3 days after mine. So we're both Tauruses over here. He is my world, and I'm so blessed to be his mom, but it's like having 3 kids with him. So unless someone wants to put a ring on this finger, oh yeah, nope. Nuh-uh. It's like, hey, unless you want to have some take on some of these responsibilities, one is enough. One and done. It's okay. At least you have a beautiful, beautiful, amazing, and bright, happy son. Because every picture I see of him, he is smiling from like ear to ear. So you're doing a good job. You are a good mom, okay? Just remember that. What? My birthday is May 18th. Oh. My birthday is literally May 18th. So that means we have twin birthdays. Twin birthday hype. That is so fucking crazy. So now you're the second friend I have that their child was born in the same month, in the same week I was. Nan, hi! How are you doing? How the heck are you doing? Welcome in. Vanos, have a wonderful night of sleep, and thank you so, so much for hanging out so long, and I appreciate you being a part of the raid with Harrison. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope to catch you later, and I hope you enjoy your movie, and hopefully watching a movie doesn't turn into 3 movies for you, because that's what happens to me. I know! I feel like we just connected on a way deeper level, because not only have we experienced similar things, like working in childcare, like what? How often could people say like they did the same exact thing and it ended the same way? And now your son was born on my birthday? Like, literally mind blown, mind blown. Nan, how are you doing? I hope you are doing amazing. Wait, you said raid? New trade? Or was that just all the love? I'm so confused. But hi, I hope you're doing amazing. So great to see ya. Adora, I have always gotten static because I'm female and have never wanted or liked children. People keep telling me, oh, you'll change your mind when you get older. And one person who said you'll never truly be a woman. Oh my gosh. Adora, that is so rude. Like, that is so freaking rude. And that is so untrue. Like, not everyone wants children. Not everyone needs them. You know what I mean? Like, that is so unfair. Like, literally, my sister-in-law, she knows she doesn't want kids. She's in her 30s. She doesn't want to have kids, and that's fine. Like, I hate how society has put this, like, just, like, very narcissistic and, like, negative thing that, like, oh, all women have to have children. It kind of like that quote, like, oh, women belong in the kitchen. Like, no. Not everyone is the same. Everyone is different. Everyone is gonna lead a different life. Like, I have aunts and stuff that don't have kids. It's normal. It shouldn't be something that is like, oh, you're gonna regret it one day. And like, clearly if your mind is made up and like your life feels fulfilled, like not everyone is going to be a parent. And if they don't want it, then why force it onto them, you know? Ugh, that's so annoying. That makes me so bad. Oh, I miss you. On a real note, I want to apologize for leaving you as a friend when you were struggling the most. You're fine. I didn't tell anyone, and I just feel like back then in like high school, there was always like a lot of rumors and just like crazy stuff going on. Like literally, if I were to talk to anyone from back then that I'm no longer friends with, they're literally probably have like in their mind that I was like on drugs, or that there was like all this like crazy stuff going on. And I wish I could take that out of their mind, but a lot of people don't understand mental illness. And when it comes to bipolar disorder, like you have blackouts, you have manic episodes, there's so many things that go with a mental illness in general. I don't think anyone would have understood back then anyway. That's why I'm very appreciative of where the world is at right now, because I feel like slowly people are accepting that mental illness it's out there and it exists, and just having that like normalized talk about it. I feel like right now we're at a good point in the planet, or on the planet, where people actually talk about it. If I go back to like 10 years ago, people were not talking about it. With that, I wish I would have reached out to you more. I just want you to know that you are beautiful and amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am proud of you as well. Thank you. That is so kind. I know I've been like ranting and raving this whole time, but I just appreciate every single one of you that is here right now, anyone that is hanging out and listening to this conversation. I appreciate you. I know it's a lot. I know it's not something that a lot of people want to talk about, but this is always going to be a safe space. And if I can like say anything that is going to help anyone in any way, whether it be like them think to themselves like, hey, like I'm not alone, like people actually go through this stuff, then I'm gonna say it. So the fact that I was able to share like a very, very deep like part of me, like that means a lot. I appreciate you, Brody, Addie, Jordan, thank you. Hobby, thank you. Love you guys so much. Yes, I know we got on like way off topic, but honestly, Jordan, thank you so much for just being here and being here now. Like, it doesn't matter like what happened in the past. I don't think like, I try not to focus on the past because it happened. I can't change it. I can't go back. I wish I could, because a lot of people have like a very, very bad like memory of me because they didn't understand what was happening and they decided to just like rationalize it. So the fact that like I can talk about it, and I mean, hey, if someone from the past came to me and they're like, hey, like what was going on then, I would tell them. Oh, you too. We are keeping your Dead by Daylight slot warm for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm just glad that you were here to hear that and listen. And I swear, this whole experience, the fact that I can even like talk about something like this is amazing. And I don't know, like, I'm so happy I was able to talk about this, even though like you can never predict what conversations you're gonna have while you're streaming and stuff, but that is just something so important to me. That's literally why in Discord there is a channel now to vent, because I feel like so many of us like hold all that inside. And if you hold all of your problems, all of the things you're going through inside, you're gonna burst. Like, we're basically a human bottle. Like, if you bottle in all your emotions and you don't talk about your problems, I feel like it just makes it 10 times worse. So just know that this is always a safe space. This is always going to be a welcoming environment. I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care where you're at in life. Like, we're here to escape reality, right? And just have good, happy times. Carbs, hello! You came in on a very emotional moment, but hello. I never understood why people couldn't talk about certain things. Dialogue is key, I find, for everything and everyone. Yes, and honestly, like, the stigma around mental illness is so, like, it's all over the place. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I don't think, like, a lot of people understand it. So just like, so EDM movement, I did go to high school with for a short period of time, and back then, like, mental illness was not talked about very often. I don't think like anyone was even brought aware of it, and it's ironic because you have to think like in any kind of like anatomy or like science class, you would learn about like the human body and stuff, but I don't remember hearing about like mental illnesses, which is insane to say. Like, we learned how body parts work, like how our teeth work, and like all this random information that is useless for me right now. But yeah, there's just so many things that I could say. But thank you for listening to that. And Carbs, how the heck are you doing? Welcome in. I love you too. I'm like talking a million miles a minute, and to anyone who is still here, thank you for sticking that out with me. We just had an emotional journey over here. We did. But I am going to exit out of Little Nightmares. I think after the heavy conversation and stuff, the puzzle we're stuck on is the mannequins. We're gonna make another attempt tomorrow. It was needed. It so was. Honestly, like, I always say that the universe works in mysterious ways, and like, sometimes conversations happen. Even like the fact that I brought this stress ball over here and I like literally needed it 10 minutes later because it like helped me just like calm down so I could speak and like not cry. Like, everything happens for a reason. I am a very, very, very spiritual person, and I'm not like shoving like religion down anyone's throat ever, but just like spiritual wise, I just like to focus on the good in the world. And spread the good in the world if I can. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for listening to my life. My life story was just spoke about.